What is up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mug. I am hanging out at the in-laws and I'm unboxing this purchase that I made when I was recently in Hawaii. It is a box, a start collecting box for the Greywater Fastness. I paid $115 retail and I still think I had a pretty good discount. Nice little deal. And I think the link, okay, immediately I just want to say this off the bat. I got an affiliate link for Amazon down below in the description. If you click on it, it's going to take you to this one vendor that is local to me that's selling this for $97. So that is pretty amazing. And it's going to route you anywhere you are in the world. I think I figured out a way to make it so that if you click on the link, it should route you to your nearest Amazon seller that's selling something at a comparable price. So if you are somewhere internationally, hopefully it'll charge you something that's a little bit cheaper than what I got for this box, 115. But check out the link and I think you'll be very, very happy with the savings. Of course, I'm going to be painting these dwarves up as dwarves, not dwarden, and I'm going to be using the 25mm base unless I hear differently from Games Workshop at their big Warhammer Old World stream tomorrow with all of the other non-40K stuff. I'm going to be putting them on 25mm bases, and I don't know what I'm going to do for the gyrocopter, maybe 40mm. We'll see if they announce something else. Or what I could do is just blue tack them onto these rounds until we hear what is the official base size for dwarves as well as the gyrocopter. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? They might not release that information until they actually release the game, the Old World. But that's enough speculating for me. Let's get into this box. First of all, we're going to show you the goodies, which is the fully painted, colorized versions of these models. And I think it comes as a gyro. Oh, it's a gyro bomber. They want you to build this up as a gyro bomber, but you can also build it up as a gyrocopter. I believe the Sprue has the bits for everything. Clattergun, grudge buster bombs. So somebody had informed me that these were all from the last release of the dwarves before they switched over from Warhammer Fantasy to Age of Sigmar. So you can run them as, I believe these are these Longbeards or Ironbreakers, and the Ironbreakers are also, I think, Iron Drakes. I remember Iron being in both of the names. Yeah, and then Longbeards also turn into Hammerers. And then you got a Warden King here, and you've got a Cogsmith. I think they've got their different names in the old Warhammer Fantasy Dwarf rulebook. But the good thing about these old start collecting boxes is that you can also see they've got the color schemes for them. So if you want to replicate the colors, then you can catch most of them here, and even better on the instructions. Let's just quickly go over base, bases, base. It also goes over the color scheme. This is what I think all instructions should have on the back. Give your customers something to, like, first of all, purchase. Go off and purchase these colors, or just go out and if you've got them in your painting cabinet and your paint racks, just line them up so that you have your paints ready to go in front of you. This is very, very helpful. I think Games Workshop, I highly suggest they do this for all of their releases. It's worth the space. Make space on your instruction manuals to have this, because this is really, really helpful. And you can see they made it especially for this Greywater Fastness. They didn't break it up to the Iron Breakers, Sprue. You don't have like Iron Breakers instruction, and then Warden King instructions, Cogsmith instructions, and Gyro Bomber instructions. They've all come on the same packet here. So flipping them open, I think it just gives you a breakdown of the organization and the abilities, and then it gets into the actual assembly here, which you can see is very typical of the dwarves, which is front half of the torso attaches to the back half, and then you stick them on the base. Okay, so it looks like the Warden King goes on a 32mm, so he's a little bit larger than the 25mm round base for the Cogsmith and the rest of the Iron Breakers. But yeah, like I said, who knows what the Old World designation is going to be for them. All we know is that they're going to be on squares. Then you've got the interchangeable parts and elements. Musician, iron breakers. So what's interesting is they want you to build them as iron breakers, but we'll see if they actually come as with the bits to build them on as iron drakes as well. And you got the gyro bomber. I've never built one of these new gyrocopter gyro bombers before, so that's going to be fun. Oh, hello. I didn't realize the pilot is actually standing, but I guess that does make sense because he's a dwarf. Oh man. And he's pulling those levers. That's hilarious. That's very cool. And then yeah, you've got the instructions to build it as a gyro bomber. So they really want you to build it as a gyro bomber, not a gyrocopter. Let's see if it has all of the bits for it. I'm using this as a background. So here we've got the iron breakers. There's the standard. I love these big fancy standards, and I love this homage to the old dwarves, the older sculpts of the dwarves that had these shields, these tiny little shields with the runes on them. Very cool. Decorative shoulder pads, big honking hammers, big shields with the intricate design on them. Just so beautiful. Oh, look, here's another standard with the dragons. I think that might be for the iron drakes. I'm excited to see if they've got iron drakes. Yeah, look, here's another one. That might be for the other side of the standard. There's a big horn. Oh no, this looks like the same. It's just a duplicate. Okay, so you've got one duplicate sprue here. And then the bodies. Okay, I was kind of worried. I was like, maybe they are going to split them up. But look, you can build them up as iron drakes. They're just not giving you the option to do that, or the instructions to do that. You're going to have to figure it out yourself if you want to do it. But my plan is actually build 10 of these lads up as iron breakers and another 10 as iron drakes. The other 10, of course, being from the Rune Throng, Norgrimm's Rune Throng Regiments of Renown that I unboxed a while back. So this is just going over, again, those iron drakes, iron breakers sprue. If you've already seen my other video for that, then I'm just basically showing you, I guess, the same thing, because you had iron breakers / iron drakes in that box. I love the helmets. Okay, so the cool thing about this is it's a mixture of the helmets or these masks, these dwarven masks with the elaborate braids and the long hair from the beards of the dwarves. Oh, look, there's an unhelmeted one. And in the old dwarves, the way they sculpted their beards was very much like just long hair with some lines through them. Now Games Workshop is able to have elaborate sculpts for the braids and the beards, and each one looks really great. Okay, excuse me, I'm gonna cough. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. So whereas before you would see a lot of this, like the mask and then the beards coming out below, but the beards were very much like a single piece that had some lines sculpted for hair to pick out individual hairs. Like this is way nicer. The hair falls naturally. It looks thick and full, and the braids look very chunky and big, and then some of them have elaborate little icons hanging from them. This is exactly what you want to see with your dwarves, especially these very specialized dwarves. But you can see with, I mean, look at this, with the arm, the crook in the arm, this looks very much like the old style of dwarves with their great weapons, where the arm is just bent at this 45-degree angle, looks like an L, and then you just slot them in. So the arms and the completed models, when they're built up, they look like the old school dwarves that you would get from the Battle for Skull Pass. Those dwarves that are just very, very simple to put together. The body shape is the same, but yeah, they're a lot more intricate. You can see, look how beautiful those beards fall. And then when you give the mask a good silver and gold paint scheme, you paint the beards like something like a dark brown. I guess you could go blonde, but that might blend too much into the gold like you see with this dwarf here. You're going to get a good effect. And of course, you could do it with white. Oh, be a long, aged veteran dwarf. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, the last thing we're going to take a look at is the gyro bomber, because I've never built one of these before. No idea what's on this sprue. Just a lot of steampunk nonsense. Beautiful. I guess I will build it as a gyro bomber. I mean, you could build it as a gyrocopter. I don't know. Decisions. Like, you know, the rules are completely different now unless I find somebody and convince them to play 8th edition Warhammer Fantasy or dig up the rules for the 9th Age. Maybe the bomber looks like it'll be more fun to paint, definitely. Oh, it's beautiful. Is this the little canopy? His little cockpit. Oh, with the little cushion. Oh, the little dials and wheels. So cool. So cool. All right, last two models here we're going to take a look at are the Iron Warden. Iron Warden, where did I get that from? Warden King and Cogsmith. So here's the Warden King. He's standing on that square decorative piece. Where's his face? Where is... Oh, he's got such a big beard. His face, his helmet and everything look like something else. Beautiful rune work. Oh, old world. Those old world runes. Beautiful. And then here's the Cogsmith. Fantastic. Just a right mix of fantasy and steampunk. Beautiful. Can't wait to build this up, guys. Can't wait to build it up and paint it. Look at the detail on that axe. Oh, man. I love this figure. This figure is terrific. I might just get it or just paint it just to have it in my collection. It's so beautiful. All right, let's wrap this baby up. For this start collecting box, I paid $115 for, but if you price out separately what these models would cost you retail, not sure what Games Workshop is doing with the gyrocopters / bombers, but I do know for sure that the box of Iron Breakers / Iron Drakes is going to run you $55 American, and usually characters, I see them on the shelves at my retail store for like $35, $45. So let's be conservative, say $35. For these two characters here is going to run you $70, plus the $55 for the Iron Breakers is going to run you to $125. And then let's be conservative with the gyrocopter and say one of them, if you bought two of them in a box for $50 or $60, is going to run you $25. So that is like $150. I already saved $35 for buying them in a start collecting package, which you should always consider start collecting boxes, even more than the Vanguard boxes, which are priced a little bit higher, but you do get a little bit more. If you're just looking to start a collection or add to an already existing collection, and you can use like even a couple of these models or units, maybe not all of them, I would say definitely consider it. If you want to get a start collecting box locally in America, like I said, click on the link and it'll take you to somebody who's selling it for $97. Again, that is an affiliate link, so you would be supporting my studio if you do click on that Amazon link. But if it clicks you or redirects you anywhere, hopefully you do get some great savings with that. And like I said, I'm also going to be building them up for the old world, which means I'm going to be putting them on 25mm bases, which I also have a link for in my description. And because the old dwarves, they were on 20mm bases, so they were on the smaller sized squares. If you build them up and rank them up on the 20mm, they look a little bit more cramped. I think 25 really lets them breathe and really lets you admire and appreciate the paint job that you're going to be giving them, and makes them look a little bit more epic on the battlefield. So 25mm bases, pick that up by clicking the link in my description as well. And definitely consider the Greywater Fastness as a way to get into the dwarves. And with the Rune Throng, the Norgrimm's Rune Throng, I think you're going to have a great start to a very specialized dwarf force. Neither of these boxes have just regular old dwarves with dwarf warriors with the hand axe and the shield. You've got specialized Iron Breakers, Iron Drakes, Longbeards, Hammerers, and then the Rune Lord in that Norgrimm's box. And then these two characters are completely different. That's what I love about this. If you get this Greywater Fastness with Norgrimm's Rune Throng, you're gonna have a wide variety of units and characters, even this flying machine. You're gonna have a great force, is basically what I'm saying. Put them on some squares and get ready for the old world, because it's coming, baby, and we're gonna meet it with honor and valor. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again to my sponsors, my patrons, for supporting the studio, and I hope you guys check out the Discord before you go. We will see you in the next video. Laters.